Okay, you can see my screen, right? Hello.
Yes, I see.
Yes,
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am, I can see it.
Yes, we can now.
To this meeting. Okay. All right. Welcome to day 4 of the data analysis with Excel program. Today we'll be working on formulas. We'll be learning formulas and functions in Excel, as well as data validation. All right, so we'll start with formulas. What do you guys understand about formulas? Hello, anybody can answer. What's your understanding? Not what you saw on the screen, or what do you understand about formulas? Hello? Okay. Okay, you can simply put formulas are user-defined calculations. I hope everyone can unmute. Yeah. Formulas are user-defined calculations, all right? You can create a formula by typing the equal sign followed by a combination of cell references and operators, all right? While functions are pre-built formulas provided by Excel to perform calculations, they simplify complex operations and range from basic to complex functions. All right, so what that is just trying to tell you is for formulas, you are the ones that creates the formula. Understand? Formula is created by you, but a function is already predefined, it's already created in Excel. It's just there in Excel. So the formula is like an automatic function. You understand? Whereby you don't need to enter it yourself. It's just there for you. So we're just going to do a little example of a formula. We just do a little calculation using formulas. You understand? So for example, we want to find the sum now for the sales. I hope you guys understand this data set. It was posted on the group. Did you guys see it? Hello, please. I need an answer.
Yes, we saw it.
All right. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
you. Okay. Thank you. All right. So we'll just do um, a small calculation using formula. So we can use formula to find sum. We can use formula to find average. So if we find the sum now of Monday sales, let me just put it here. Sum of Monday sales, we'll do something like it's equal to, normally, if we just do it manually, we'll do something like this. C5 plus 1539 plus 1491 plus 2782. All right, so that is the formula, and we got 7,281. You understand? So if we also wanted to find the average of this, so we'll be doing something like, but to find the average, we'll be doing something like is equal to this, that is the one for beans, Monday for beans, Monday for rice, plus Monday for yam, plus Monday for plantain. All right, so we'll put everything in the bracket. Just normal mathematics. And then divide everything will be divided by 4. And then we get an average. So this is just the formula. You can also do subtraction, you can do multiplication if that is what you want to understand. So this is a formula. But if we're to use a function, it's already there, it's predefined. So we don't need to do it manually, individually, the way we're doing it. So if it's for a function, we just come in and let's say we want to find the sum. Right, so we just click is equal to sum. All right. So it's asking for number one, number two. That is asking me for the range. So I can simply pick them one after the other, and I'll put my comma and do this, but to still be time wasting. All right. So what I can just do here is I'll just come here and then I'll just highlight everything. All right. And then I close my bracket and to give me my sum. You can see it's the same thing with this manual one. Another thing is since our table, since this data set is already in the table format, it's not a range of cells, all right? It's already in table format, so we don't need to start dragging it. There's no point. You can see Excel already put the name for you. All you need to just do is, let me just do it. You just start with your sum. All right, start with sum. So we know our table name is Jane. Name of our table is Jane. It's already there. Then I'll put the square bracket. All right. The column we want to find, the column which sum we want to find now is this Monday column. All right. So you can see everything is there. So I'll just select Monday and I'll enter it. And that's it. Okay. So I want to do the same thing for average. I'll do the average here. Do the average here. So if I want to do average, I'll start with my equal to, and then I'll put average. All right. I'll put average. It's Monday I want to do, so I'll do something like Jane, all right, with my square bracket, Monday, close the square bracket and close the round bracket. And that is, so you can see the difference. Okay, so this is using a formula, and this is using a function, then this is using a formula. All right. So if we want to find the mean here, if we want to find the mean, I think Meshach or so. Just hold on. I'll you guys so you guys can
Thank you.
hold on. If I want to do the mean, so I'll come here, I'll put mean. All right. Mean here is the minimum number, meaning I want to know the smallest number here. All right. So I'll put the mean and then I'll put in Jane. All right. Then we have square bracket, Monday, and then I'll close it. All right. You can see it has given me 1,469, which is the smallest number for Monday. Same way, if I want to find the maximum number, which is the largest number in that particular column, I can still use structural referencing as well. So I have Jane. I just start with max. I'll put Jane there, which is the name of my table. Then the column I want to calculate, or I want to find the max for me, which is Monday. All right, I'll close the square bracket and that's it. So I can also say I want to find the count. I want to know the number of entries in that particular column. Right. So I'll put my equal to there and then count. All right. Then we have Jane, square bracket. We have, please mute your mic. And then we have 4. So it's giving me 4 here now because the number of entries we have here now are 4. You get, so that's why it's giving me 4. All right, the person that was asking a question, please. I wanted to ask a question. I think Meshach also. There were 2 people. Yeah, Meshach.
Yes, presenter. Good evening once again. I was actually going to complain about your screen. I was no longer seeing your screen, but I can see it now. I can see it now.
Okay. This was already
Thank
Meshach.
you very much.
All right. Who is the other person? I think 2 people raised their hands. All right, but what I did here, is it clear to everyone? You can just
No,
give me,
it's not.
No, ma.
No, it's
No,
not.
ma. Not clear, ma.
okay.
It's not clear,
Okay, so
please.
what is not clear? Tell me what you don't understand.
I was having network issues, so I was trying to reconnect and reconnect. Again, I had to use my phone set because my system is not connecting.
Okay, so that's your one question. Okay. All right. Oluwaseun, what's your question?
Okay, my question is, good evening. I want to just ask, is there any way we can do manual? Normally for the sum average, there's a way you first use the manual method. But for mean maximum, is there any way we can use the manual method to calculate them?
I've not done it before. You can check it. You see, that's why is Excel is very flexible. You can try it. Just that
Okay,
functions. I can't even imagine myself even doing using the manual method. I just showed you guys formula so you can understand where you use formulas. You understand? And maybe
okay,
you want to work with columns and you want to add something. Maybe you want to add a particular figure to the column. So you might not be using sum. You can even still use sum if you understand.
okay, okay, I understand. So
So
that means for this formula, you must always start with the table name Jane. I'm talking about the function now.
then you state the
That's the case is because you have named this table Jane already. So
yes.
I'm taking of some other cases. Maybe if
If your
the table has not been named Jane.
if your table is named sales now, for example, okay, let me just change the name. I told you how to change table name. So you click on the table, go to table, click on it, all right. So we'll come here now, we'll change this name, table name to sales, and then I click enter. All right. Can you see what happened here? Can you see what happened?
Yes,
I've gone to click on the mean, marks, and everything. Some. Go and look at the formula. Can you see the formula automatically changes?
to sales. Then what about if you don't, if the table is not named?
How will you not name your
Can we
table?
still,
Table is not named, then you don't have to make it a table. You have to leave it as a range of cells. As far as a table,
okay,
if you don't name
okay,
it, it's an automatic name. Excel will give it will name it table. So let's say, for example, let me just copy this range of cells. This address. I'll put it here. So this is just a range of cells. This is not a table right now. Let me click.
yes,
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know where to put the form. All right. So this is just a range of cells. All right. So if I want to insert a table, I highlight everything and I'll put my control T. All right. My table has headers, does not have, so that's why it gave me column because let me just show you what I did. So I want to create this table. I want to make this one. So I clicked on Control T, tighten it. You know, my table does not have headers, so that's why I did not select this one. Remember when
yes,
when I was creating this table, I clicked on my table has headers because it had Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so that Excel automatically pick the first row as the header. You understand? But this one now, there's
yes,
no. I want Excel to create the header for me. All right, so I'll click on OK. That is this table, right? If I
yes,
click on and I go to table design, can you see? Can you see the
mm,
name? Excel automatically
yes,
gave it. So if you like create 400 tables, the table must have a name. But why should you be
okay,
having 5 tables when you can easily just give the name that you usually remember? Let's say you have in one workbook you have employee table, you have products sold in the USA table. You understand? Nigerian products table, China products table. You understand? So why will you go and name it table 4, table 5 names that make it easily table? You get me?
yes, mm,
Right. Freeman at the question. Freeman, ask a question. Okay. I'll on the hand. Liberty question. Liberty, ask a question.
The last assignment you gave when you said create a table, name your table, I think, as sales. I think I was doing the wrong thing. So I don't know how you managed to do it just now. So I think for clarity purpose, just let me know or let us know.
I will not
I
be.
don't-
I'll not look to go back on that now. There's a video on that.
Okay, no problem. All right. Thank
Why
you.
back on that was because I was trying to explain the particular functions to the person that. So that's why I went.
Okay,
So
no problem.
now it's in the previous video and even in today's video. Okay, who else? All right, so no other question. So for clarity's sake, I think there was a girl that said, there was a lady that said she didn't get what I did. So I said what I was doing was I was just showing the different formulas and functions. So I said if I use a formula now to find the sum of Monday sales, I'll do the sum here now. Right, then I'll delete. Let me do it here, so I'll delete it. So we'll do something like is equal to beans, which is Monday's sales for beans, plus I'll come to rice, plus I'll come to yam, plus I'll come to plantain. All right, and I'll click enter. So I can get the sum that way. If I want to do the average, is using a formula now. If I want to do the average, all right, I'll do something like is equal to is equal to beans, which is for Monday, plus rice for Monday, plus yam, plus plantain. Right, that is average. Now you know average is the sum of all the products divided by the quantity. All right, so I'll put everything in a bracket. This is using a formula. Then I'll divide everything by 4. All right, so this is how you get it during using a formula. But if I to use a function, which is what we used over here, all right, so we'll just simply come here instead of going to pick everything individually. You just come here and put your equal to, and you select sum. Since our data set is already in a table format, we don't need to go and drag. You can simply call it. So sorry, I've changed the name to sales, no longer June. So I'll just come here now and put sales. All right, then I will put a square bracket, and it has shown me all the columns that are in this sales table. So I'll just come in and I'll pick Monday, and I'll close my square bracket. All right, and that's it. 7,281. I think that one is clear. So same way, if I want to get the average, I'll come here and I'll click average. All right. Then I'll write the name of the table, which is sales. After putting the name of the table, I'll put the column name, which is Monday. Then I'll close everything, and to give me the average. Please take note, when you're using structural references, you start with the table name first before the column. Because, for example, you want to direct somebody to your house, you will not tell the person that let's say your house number is number 12. You won't tell the person will not look for 12 before he will look for the street name. The person will first check for the street name before he will now check for your street number, your house number. All right, so that's what I did here to get the sum, the average. Then for the mean stands for minimum number, which is the smallest number that is in that particular column. All right, so I can put my mean here, and you can see it already breaks that for me. And if you read what it says it returns the smallest number in a set of values. It ignores logical values and text. You understand? So if maybe in that particular column there was A, if there was A in that particular column, this mean we ignore it. It won't count it. You understand? If there was a text there, let me just do it so you guys just see it. So I'll put my mean here. All right. So I'll reference my table. I'll reference my table, and I want to pick for Monday. Close my square bracket, close my round bracket, and then this is it. So assuming now, maybe here now there was Jack, which is a text. Oh, yeah, I wanted to do Jack here. Let me go to the minimum number. The minimum number here now. The minimum number here now is 1469. All right. So let's assume it's 1469 was not 1469. It was actually Jack, for example. You can see it will just ignore the text and work with only the numbers that are in that particular column. All right, so for the marks too, I did the same thing. So you have equal to marks. I'll state the table name, which is sales, then the column name, and then that's it. So structural referencing is actually a good way of referencing your data set. I don't want to say it's the best, but for me, it is most preferred because if I'm in another, let's say I just created another sheet now, sheet 3. All right, so I just created another sheet. Let's say I wanted to actually do something. I still want sum now. I can come here is equal to sum. I want the total. Now, let's say I want the total for Friday sales. All right, so I want the sum of the sales table, my square bracket for Friday. All right, I'll close it. And 5,445. So if I come back now and I actually check it here, I don't even need to even do the sum. Remember, you have your status bar, which is below here. All right, so you can just simply highlight it first and you get a quick sum. Can you see what it gave me? Sum 5,445. Average, this is the average it gave me. So it's quite simple and very easy to understand. So in this case, since we've already done this here, I'm not getting a proper view of. Since we've already done this here, all right, so we don't really need to, we already have a formula here. We can just duplicate the formula. We don't need to start doing the same thing here and saying equal to sum. No, you don't really need to do that. You can just drag it and then it will just do relative referencing for you. It will just copy it. So this is practically the assignment I'm doing right now. All right, so if I come here now to this black dot, and my cursor turns black, I can just drag it. I'll just drag it. And if I come and check, oh, I didn't drag this one well. If I come and check what is here now, you can see it already changed it from Monday. Check the formula bar. It's no longer showing Monday. If you check here, this one is showing Monday. All right. This one is showing Tuesday. You get that, right? So I can do the same thing for average and just drag it down. Look at this now. It's showing Wednesday. It's showing Tuesday. So everything that is here is going to be copied, it's going to be duplicated. The formula will be duplicated, but the column that is being referenced and the row will not be the same thing. You understand? So it will change relatively. So I'm going to undo everything I did. So I can also highlight everything like this. So instead of doing it one after the other, I'll come to the black dot and then I will drag it. Can you see? I'll go back and I will do it again. So what I did is, since I know that as I'm moving right ways, it's going to copy everything for me. I don't have to be doing it individually. Sorry. I don't have to be doing it individually. Now I'll be dragging it like this. No, I don't have to be doing that. All right, because you want to work with time. If you have a very large amount of data sets you're working with, you won't have time to be doing all those things. So you need to learn the fastest way possible for you. That is why that person was asking me how we can do mean manually. I don't see why you want to do mean. Even the sum self, I don't even see why you want to even do sum manually. It's only when it's only just two columns you are summing here and you want to, because that is the first thing that came to your mind, and then when you should use that, you ask me. So what I did was I clicked on the first cell, all right, and then I dragged it to the last cell. Mind you, my cursor is still white. Okay, meaning I have highlighted these 5 cells here. Then I went to the edge of the cell, and now my cursor has turned black. All right, then I dragged it sideways to Friday. All right, and I left it. So immediately I did that, it just copied all the formulas for me. You can see max remains. The only thing that is changing here now, just looking at the formula bar, just look on the formula bar. The only thing that is changing now is the columns, that is the headers. See sales to Wednesday. Same thing for the average as well, and then the sum. Does anybody have a question with that? Is there any question?
No questions from me.
Yes, please. I want the formula for the mean.
Mean is just MIN. Look at
Okay.
it. This is the cell. Just look at MIN brackets, your table name, you can name your table anything you want so that you can easily reference it.
All
Right.
right. Thank you.
We are done with that now. All right. So another thing okay, let me show you guys using subtotal, for example. All right. So what the subtotal will do is just like your sum, but sum total just has sum total is an advanced function that has a combination of everything: your sum, your average, your mean, your max, count, everything inside a function. So it's like a function in a function, stuff like that. Right. So what the subtotal does is auto like this. All right. And I'll put in I'll come here and I'll select subtotal. All right. So I'll select subtotal. Yeah. I was supposed to show you guys. You can see what subtotal is saying. Returns a subtotal in a list or a database. If I put in the subtotal, I'll put my round bracket. All right. It will give me a range of functions that are present in this subtotal. All right. So I will not select what I want to do. So what I want to do now is sum. For example, I want to do sum. I want to use subtotal to do sum. So I'll select sum, and it put number 9 for me. So I put my comma. So it's asking me for my reference 1, reference 2. This reference is asking is your cell. That is the cell you want it to sum. All right. And what we want to sum is sales table. I'll put my square brackets for Monday. Close my square brackets. And then I click enter. So it gave me 7,281, which is like this normal sum, right? Yes, it's like the normal sum. But the difference here is this. If I decided I wanted to filter, you guys have not been taught filtering yet, but you've been taught filtering this week. I think Wednesday or Friday. You've been taught filtering. Difference between the sum and the subtotal is if I want to filter it, the sum will not change, but the subtotal will change. All right. Like for example, now, if I go to the top of my column, See this triangle here, and then I pick it like this, all right? And then I delete one number from there. And I click OK. So right now I have just three rows here, all right? But the total here that it gave me from subtotal changed, but the one for sum did not change. Do you understand? Questions? Fashino.
Why is that, man? Okay.
That is why I said, if you remember when I started this, I said this is an advanced function. All right, it's an advanced function. So I think ideally, maybe you guys should have done it on Friday when you are working with other functions. But because we're doing computation now, doing calculation, I don't want people to go back to sum again to doing sum and average. That is why I just brought it now. It will be easy for you to understand at a later time, but I want to bring it now. Then if it is necessary to go back to it, we'll go back to it again. Do you understand?
Right. It's all right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Okay. So that is it. Then another way of doing this is, don't worry, I think we'll repeat it so you have a clearer understanding of this. All right. So another getting a total of what you have is using auto sum. All right. So how does the auto sum work? All you need to do is you go to the first cell you want to sum, all right? And then let's say, for example, this one is just the fastest way. For example, now we have Monday to Friday, and I want to get a total of everything without having to go through the stress of doing some average, min, max, and the rest. I'll just come to Monday, and then I'll highlight everything up to Friday. All right. Then I'll go to my ribbon. I'll go to this formulas tab. I'm going to formulas tab. All right. So I'll click on formulas tab, and then I'll go to my left where you have function library. I will now go to auto sum. Then I'll click on it, and then I'll select sum. And you can see immediately it just gave me a sum of everything on that column. Can you see it? So if maybe I don't want the sum of Monday, I don't want to see the sum of Monday, I want to see the average of Monday, I will just go and click on the total, which is here, and then I will select. You can see this triangle beside the total. I'll just select the triangle down. All right. Then I can now come here now and select average. And you can see maybe I selected average. It gave me average. It gave me average. Can you see it? If I go there now and I select mean, which is the minimum number, you can see now it's giving me the minimum number, which is 1,469, because that is what I want to see. All right. If I come to this other one now for Wednesday, I don't want to see the sum, for example. I want to see the count. Give me 4. You can understand this. Is it clear? Ask your questions.
It's clear.
It's clear. Okay, good. So there's also something I want you to notice. What can you notice now about this auto sum that we did? I'm going to go through all the functions. So you start with sum. All right. Then we went to mean. Then went to max. So what can you notice from here? What can you notice? I need an answer, please.
That they are changing now. They are changing as you are changing the functions.
That is 1. 2. The formula that is here is not sum. The formula that is here is subtotal. You understand? The formula that is here is subtotal, because subtotal is more flexible than sum, which is what I taught you guys here already. Okay, so I think we are done with that now. If you have a question, please ask your question, because we're moving to another topic. Ask your question. Ask your question. Okay, we don't have it. Question.
Please, can you just go back to the sum total, please?
Auto sum. The person that asked your question, is it subtotal you want or auto sum?
Sum total and hello. Hello.
I can hear you clearly.
I said sum total, sum total.
Okay. I said subtotal. All right. So I select equal to first. Equal to subtotal. Subtotal. All right. So immediately I put subtotal, it will show you a list of all the functions, possible calculation functions you can work with. You understand? You can see it here. You have your average, count, A max. All of them are there. Product, everything is there. So what we want to do now is sum. And then I'll select sum. So immediately I select sum, it has put the number for it, which is 9. Because if you check here, let me go back again. If you check here, 1 is average, 2 is count, 3 is count A, 4 is max. So Excel don't want everything to be messy. It doesn't want you to write it. It doesn't want you to say about you write subtotal. In here, you will now put count. You understand? So it just gave each function a number. So depending on the one you want, if you want mean, you can pick 5. You want max, but since we want, I selected sum. Even if I don't want to select sum, I can just still come here and write 9. Because I already know that 9 stands for sum here, based on what's on this list. Right, so after selecting 9, I'll put my comma. All right. It's asking me for the range now, which is ref 1, ref 2. This ref 1, cell 1, cell 2, just wants to list everything. But we are working with a table, so we don't need to work with a range of cells. We can just pick our cells, right? Square bracket, Monday. All right. Close my square bracket, then I put a round bracket, and that's it. So that's what I did. Is that not clear? All right, Judith. One thing about this subtotal is when you start filtering, like I said, you will do filtering on Wednesday or Friday. I think it's Wednesday though. When you do filtering, when you are filtering your data, trying to remove what you want. Filtering is just like picking some things and leaving other things. When you are doing filtering, if you worked with just this sum, it will not change the value, it will just remain constant. It will assume the value that you filtered is still there. When you're working with subtotal, it will change. It will change to reflect only what is visible. So the ones you have filtered out will not be there. Judith, ask your question. Judith, you can ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Are you?
Good evening. Yeah, this is Judith.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the class. I noticed something. I just wanted clarity. Where the highlight is right now in the function, it says subtotal 9. Subtotal 9. I don't know what's the difference between the function number 9 here and there's another function number 109, which is the same sum. Is there a difference between them?
Yes, there's a difference.
Well, I wanted to know what's the difference.
The difference is how do I put it? The difference is how your data set is. If there are some rows that are hidden, all right. So in Excel, you can hide a row. I think we did it. I think we did it in the previous class also. But let me just show you. All right. So let's say we came here now and we hid. You can in Excel now. You can come here now. Like this 6. Watch my cursor. This 6 and 7 now. All right. Row 6 and 7. I can highlight from 6 to 7. Okay. Then I will right click. So immediately I right click on it. It gave me an option. So I'll come and put hide. Can you see?
Okay.
All right. So it has hidden 2 rows for me. All right. If we are working with 9, it will remain the same way. That is that 7,281 we have remain the same way. Hiding it does not accept. Just the way, okay, so it's like there are like, let's say that there are like 3 levels now. 3 levels in the hierarchy. We have some. Some will remain constant. Whether you filter it, you hide it, anything you do, as far as data is still there, it will remain constant. You understand? So what you have as your value will remain constant. What you have there as your value, what you have there as a value will remain constant if you are working with just sum. If you're working with subtotal and you picked the 9, that is from I think 1 to 11, you picked any of those ones there and you filter it. When you filter it, your value is going to change as you filter. Let me just
Okay.
your value will change. But if you pick from 101 to I think 111, your value will not change. If you're using your value will change if you're using 109 when you hide it. Let me just show you. Let me just show you everything. I think it will be easier for you to understand if I show you. So I'm going to do sum now. Okay, so we have equal to sum. Very fast sum for sales. Then I'll use a square bracket. Let's pick Monday. All right, so this is for sum. Just sum, right? So I'm going to do for subtotal. This subtotal, let's use 9. All right. So I'll come here, I'll put is equal to subtotal. For those people that didn't understand his question, so this is what he's saying. Immediately we clicked on subtotal, it gave a range of the functions you can actually work with. All right, so we have average as number 1, count A, and I told you that the number you pick will determine what the subtotal will do for you, what that function will do for you. All right, but if you also go down along the list, you will see that average is appearing here again as number 101. Count is appearing as number 102. Then count A 103, max 104, and the rest. So it's repeating itself. Then we also have sum again as 109, whereas we already have sum as 9. So that's his question. Like, what is the difference between this sum that is as 9 here and sum that is 109 here? All right. So I said we're working with sum that is 9 here. So I'll pick sum. All right. Then I'll put my comma here. So it's asking me for my range. So I'm working with sales. All right. Then square bracket Monday. All right. I'll close it and then so this 7,281. Good. So I want to work with subtotal that is 109. Is 109. All right. So I'll come here now and I'll pick subtotal. All right. Then instead of picking 9 that I picked before, I'll come here and I'll pick 109. I'll put my comma. then my range, which is the sales table, square brackets, Monday. All right. So this is it. It gave me the same answer. This is sum for everything. This is sum for everything. Okay. But the difference now is, okay, if I come here now, how do I, let me zoom back, zoom out. Yeah. Difference now is, if I come to Kuso and say I want to filter, all right. So if I filter it by clicking that triangle and I take out one, so I don't want this minimum, this 1469 to show there, and I click OK, the ordinary sum remains the same because it's assuming that that other figure is still there. But really, from what you are seeing only 3 instead of 4. All right. But the subtotal for 9 changed to reflect only the total of these 3. The subtotal for 109 changed to reflect only the total for these 3. All right. But assuming now we were to hide something, let's say we want to hide yam. You see this hiding, so where you might find it very useful is maybe you are working with them, you are trying to protect your sheet and you want to send some information in your Excel workbook and you don't want somebody to know. You can actually hide it, but you can decide to go and hide it in row 1000 something. Nobody will know, you just tell the person. So somebody might have the answer to a lot of things, but they won't even know they have it because it was hidden in plain sight. All right. So I can come here now to this row 7. I want to hide that row. So I will right click on the row. Then I'll go down and I'll click hide. And I'll click hide. There's something that is not supposed to. And I click hide. Okay. The main difference is it's not supposed to give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, but the main difference is that hide I did, all right, that I hid that particular number. For subtotal 9, it's supposed to remain the same. It's not supposed to change. Do you get me? Hello?
Yes,
with
we
you.
got you.
It's not supposed to
Yeah,
change.
I'm with you.
It's not supposed to change the way I hid it, but I don't know why this one changed. Control Z. Upon hiding, it is not supposed to change. Just maybe it's because of the table. It's not supposed to change. Maybe it's because of the table though. But regardless, that is the difference between the 3 types of sums. Understand? Using sum directly, using subtotal 9, and then using subtotal 109. Maybe in the next class, when you are working with advanced functions, we'll be able to look back on this. But I just wanted to touch it now. Then we'll touch it again, so you guys will have a proper understanding of it. All right, thank you. So I think we are done with this now. Let's go to our next topic. Is there any other question again? I'm leaving here. Please, when I'm done with this, I won't come back to it again until when we're working with advanced functions. Then we can now come back to subtotal. Okay, no question. All right, so I'm moving now to data validation. The second sheet on the workbook I sent to the group. That's where we have data validation. You guys can check it out. All right. Okay, so data validation. Okay, the attendance form has been shared on the group chat. So on the Google Meet chat. So just check it out. I'm filling your attendance. So what I'll do is before we start data validation, I'll give everybody 10 minutes to fill the attendance. All right. Fill your attendance now, 10 minutes. If you have any issues, let's address it while I post the recording. Please fill your attendance. Fill your attendance.
I'm not seeing the link. Oh.
There's a link on the chat. I know a lot of us had issues
Yes.
with this attendance. So that was why the team agreed that we'd give everybody about 10 minutes, I think 5 to 10 minutes to sort the attendance out. So we'll avoid that issue because immediately after the class, that attendance will be locked. And I think you saw the message that we'll no longer be sharing the attendance on the group chat. So please just try to fill it now. Okay, please, if you have filled your attendance, so we can just move fast. If you have filled your attendance, just raise your hands and I'll count. Okay, thank you, Samuel. Just raise your hand if you have filled your attendance. Oh, yeah, Tola, you said it's not opening. I think it's only from your end. Try, use another browser, use an Opera Mini or you see. Let's try another browser. Please raise your hands. I'll just count. So we don't have to wait for the 10 minutes to be exceeded before we start. Hands raised up. So I can count. So if I know that at least most of the class have filled it until the class. Fashina, there's an attendance. Joshua, can you please reshare the attendance? Please, if you have. Thank you, Joshua. Okay, sir, you see you're having issues with it. Just keep on trying. You still have from now till the end of the class to fill it, but I just want a good number. Please just leave your hands raised. Don't take it down. I just want a good number to have filled it down already. Leave your hands raised. We have about 20 people now that are attendance. Just leave your hands raised. I will lower everything. Continue. We have 28 persons. Please leave your hands raised up. We have 20 persons. Okay. Continue. Please, if you feel the attendance, just raise your hand. The attendance will be dropped in the WhatsApp group, so please fill it. Okay, so I'm waiting for like 3 more persons. Once I have 3 more hands, or once my 10-minute elapse, I'll start the class. Okay, so I'm starting. Hope you can still see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Yes, we can.
Everybody's hands now. All right. I've lowered everybody's hand, so everything is fresh. Thank you. All right, so we're going to do data validation now. All right. So data validation in Excel is a feature that allows you to control what type of data or values a user enters into a cell or a range of cells. It helps to prevent errors by restricting data entry to specific types or ranges, ensuring that the data in your spreadsheet is accurate, consistent, and within a defined criteria. So I'm going to give an example now of where you use data validation or how to use data validation. What they're just trying to say is data validation helps to reduce error and stress with your analysis. It also helps to reduce the time you will spend cleaning your data and ensuring that it's okay for analysis. So you do need data validation at the beginning, all right, during your data collection stage. It just helps to make your life easier. It's like the attendance you guys are filling now. If you noticed, the number, that is the class number now, is I think I changed the class number to number 4. Initially it was number 3. All right. So the way it is number 4 like that now, and 4 is the only thing that is there. Nobody can go there and put 2. Nobody can go there and put 0, because people can be very funny. Somebody can go there and put 40. And then when you are trying to analyze the number of people that attended this class, which class this person attended, sorry, you are trying to have a count for the person's attendance or assignment and the rest, and then you'll be seeing 40. But we did not do up to 40 classes. How is that happening? That is where the data validation comes to play. Joshua, please, you share the attendance link again. Some people are complaining on the group chat. It's going to be locked immediately after the class, so please fill it. All right. So we're going to do data validation now. So let's say this is like a product. This is a product table. This is just a table. Sorry, it's not a table yet. It's a data set. It's a table when you change the format. So this is a data set of products sold in a particular company. All right. So maybe this is the price. I don't know if I'm going to work with this quantity, but let's work with the price. All right. And let's say we want to create a sheet whereby if somebody comes to buy a particular product, you can just pick from it and then enter the values into that table or range of cells. All right. So let's just select some cells here that we use to practice. Okay. So I want to pick here. I want to just color the cells. It's not compulsory to color the cells. Just since we're working with them for easy identification, let's just change the. I think that is too much. Let's just change the color. Everything is white here. So let's make here blue. All right. So I'll leave. I want to put all the the border lines. Then we have the header here. Let's give the header another color. So let's say orange now. All right, so I want to do data validation now on this range of cells. All right, so let's say we want to start with ID, product ID. All right, so we know that there's a range. There's a range of a range for the product IDs that are being for the products. There's a range for the IDs of products that are being sold by our company. And if you look at this now, I think the smallest number, in fact, let's just use mean to find the lowest number here and max to find the highest number. All right, so I'll come here now to the bottom and I will select mean. All right, so instead of clean our eyes or me going to go and touch filter, whereas it's not today's topic. All right, so I'll come here now. We know it is D2, right? The ID is from D2 to D20. I hope you guys understand me now. The ID, this ID column now is from D2 to D20. All right, so I'm going to put
I think
minimum.
it's D21.
Yeah, D21. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From D2 to D21. So D21. All right, so you can see immediately I put the cell number. Just highlighted everything. Assuming it was a table now, I'll just put the table name and put the column. I won't even go and be searching for whether it's D20. That's why I like when you're working with the table. It just makes things easier. You don't have to. Somebody is saying D22. See, if you can change yours to a table, you are free to. So you can just work with the column and not bother yourself about where the table is, where the particular column is ending. Okay, so click enter. So they're giving you the minimum now. Let me come here and put my min here. They're giving me the minimum value now. The minimum ID, lowest ID here is 334. So let's do max as well. So we have max. All right. And then we're working with B2 to B21. So we have 509. All right. So since we've done our min, I've done our max here. We are the smallest number for the IDs is 334. Then the highest is 598. So we don't want somebody to go and put ID 1000 for us. Because we know ID 1000, it can never be ID 1000 because we don't have any product that is being sold in our company that has the ID 1000. So we're going to use data validation for that. All right. So let's say this column now, the first column now is the ID column. All right. So we'll come here now. Take note of this minimum. Let me just copy it and paste it somewhere so I can see it very well. I want to just paste it here. All right. And this is too small. Coming. Okay, I think this is good. Everybody can see this now. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to highlight this whole column, which is the ID column here on this my empty range of cells. All right. So I will go to data tab. I'm going to data tab. Okay. So I'll click on data. And then I'll go to my right. You see this group where we have data tools, right? I'll look for data validation, which is this one. Some people might have it spelled. If you're using an older version, I think it will be spelled there for your data validation. But if you're not using an older version, just look for any option that has this symbol. All right, so I'll select it. Immediately I clicked on it, it took me to this. It brought this dialog box for me, data validation dialog box. So I'm going to go to the first tab here, which is settings. All right, so it's asking me for the validation criteria, meaning what value do I want this range of cells to take. All right, and I don't want the range of cells to take any value. I want the range of cells. Just hold on with your question. Let me done with this. I'll ask for. I'll call you guys out. I have questions. So I'll come here and I will select whole number, because remember the IDs, they are all whole numbers. There's no decimal number, so I don't need the decimal. So by doing this now, somebody will not be able to go and put 300.3. All those kind of things, you just avoid it. Somebody cannot even go and put alphabet. So I will not select whole number. Then I'll click whole number. All right. So it's asking me now. Since I click whole number, the next box you see now is data. That means what kind of whole number is it? What kind of reference do you want to do? Do you want it to be between a range? Do you want to be that maybe the minimum value? Let's assume the ID now. The ID is from 1,000 and something and above, and then the highest ID is maybe 2 million. But you don't know the exact figure, and you don't want to put it. So you can just say minimum. For example, you can say it doesn't have minimum. You can say greater than, right? So you can put greater than 1,000, and then to pick any number that's greater than above. So if somebody goes there to put 100, to reject it. But we now are not working with that kind of value. We have a range. We want to be fixed.
Sorry, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't see what you're saying. I think your screen froze.
Okay.
I can't say it too.
Okay. Thank you for mentioning that on time. I think I need to. Yeah, I need to share my whole screen. I stopped sharing just now. I stopped sharing the whole screen. Let me just share it back. You know, if you are sharing just your Excel window, it won't show those things that pop out. All right, so I'm going to go back then. Okay, so here's what I did. I highlighted the whole column. Sorry, I highlighted the whole column. Then I went to the data tab. Then I went to data validation. So you can see the box, other data tools. But the lady that asked the question in the group, this is it. This is the symbol. All right, data validation. So I'll click on it. Immediately I clicked on it, it brought out this dialog box for me. All right, so I'm going to start with the first tab, which is settings. All right, so under the settings, you are seeing what is writing is asking for the validation criteria. So it's asking me, what do I want to allow? What kind of value do I want to allow the user to enter into this range of cells? And the value I want now is a whole number. If I want any value, I'll leave it as any value. But I don't want any value because I want that is the main reason why I'm doing data validation. I want a whole number. All right. So I can click on whole number. So even if the person goes to put something 2.3, it won't work. All right. So I've picked whole number now. So it's asking me, how is this whole number? How do I want the whole number to be? Do I have a range? Do I have a minimum value? What do I want? Which is what is written here. What you have here, you have data. So I'll come in and I'll select this drop down here. So it's asking me between. Assuming now what I was explaining before, the person that said people that said you don't see my screen, the dialog box. Sorry. So I was saying, for example, the lowest ID in the company is like ID 1,000. The highest is like 2 million or 2 billion, and you don't want to write 2 billion, but you know the minimum number is 1,000. All right, so you can just select greater than, and then you come here, you write 1,000. But we don't want to do that because we already have a range, which is here. Let me move this. You can see the range here. The range here is the minimum is 334. The maximum is 598. All right, so I'll just come here. When we have data here, I'll select between. All right, so that's me for the minimum value. Now, the minimum value is 334. And then asking for the maximum value, and the maximum value for that column now is 598. All right, then I'll now come to the next tab, input message, meaning what do I want that cell to show when the person goes near it? Like the way when you're hovering over all the cells in all the tabs or even the functions. So if you're hovering on checking all the options you have here in your ribbon, you will see some pop. You can see it. All these things that are popping up. You get this small, like you can see queries and connection. You can see this small definition. What do you want to show when the person hovers their mouse? And you can say, okay, let's say I want it to show enter your ID, for example. All right, enter your ID or enter the ID. No, enter product ID. Yeah, I think that's better. Enter product ID. Product ID. All right. So immediately I'm done with that. If you want to put a title, you can still put a title. Let's make it ID. All right. Then I'll come here to error alert. This is the next tab here. Error alert. So I'll click on error alert. You can see what is here is already here as stop. So we can leave it that way. We don't need to touch that yet. So this place where you are seeing title and error message. This error message is if the person enters a value that is not within that range, that does not meet the criteria I put on that range of cells, on that cell, what should Excel tell the person? So let's say we want Excel to tell the person, or let's leave it empty first, so you guys will see how it is when it's normal. Then when we put in the error alert, you see how it looks. So before I put in the error alert, I'll just come here, I'll put OK, for example. All right, so I'll leave that as it is. So if I go there now to the cell, can you see what is coming, what is popping up here? Can you see ID here? Enter product ID, which are the things I set for that cell. So everything, the whole range I selected is going to show the same. So if I come here now, right, I know the minimum number there is 334, the maximum is 598, and maybe I just want to enter 1,000, and I click enter. You can see what it's giving me. Give me an error. It said the value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. We try. Okay. It will not work until, even if I do it 10 times, 20 times, it won't work until I now come and say, okay, I want to put 450. You can see it allowed me to put in 450. Right. But assuming now what I wanted, I don't want to display that particular message displayed just now. I'm sorry for my voice. I have a bit of cold, that's why. So I don't want you to display the particular number you were seeing just now on the screen, the error message you were seeing just now on the screen. I can just highlight everything again. So I'm going to go back to that data validation option, which is here. All right. Then I'll come here now where I had that error alert tab. Okay. I want to put in when it was asking us for error message, I'll just come here and write something like, sorry. Let's say, sorry. Nah, the ID must be between the range of 334 and 7 was sorry The ID must be between 334 and 598. And select OK. So if you come here now and the person comes to put 2000, you can see it's displaying the error message I put in. All right, I'm going to do it again because I know many people did not get it, but somebody has a question. As Shaga ask your question, I'll do Control Z and I'm going to do it again so you guys will follow me this time because I explained a lot the last time. Okay. Asaga, you dropped your hand, so it means you want me to repeat it. Am I right? Asaga. Okay, I think I've lost him there. All right, so what I said is I want to do data validation for this particular column. All right. I want the numbers that any user, anybody that is using this sheet now, any number that the person is entering, I want it to be between 334 and 598. I don't want the person to be able to enter 2000 or enter 3000. All right. So I'll come in now and I will highlight everything. Okay. After highlighting everything, I will go to my, which is here, click on my data tab. Then I'll go to data tools group. All right. Now I'll come to data validation over here and I'll click on it. So immediately I click on it, it's going to bring out this dialog box for me. So it's going to ask me some questions. You get, so the first one I want to go with is settings. I'll go to settings. Then it's asking me for validation criteria. And the validation criteria I want to use is I want the value of the person's entry to be a whole number. I don't want the person to be able to enter the decimal. I don't want the person to be able to enter date. I don't want the person to be able to enter text. But I want the value to be a whole number. So I will select a whole number. And it's asking me, how do I want the whole number to be? How do I want the range to be? You understand? Which is data here. And I said I want it to be between a certain value, which is 334 and 598. Assuming I wanted it to, I can also come here and pick and say not between. Not between meaning anything I put as minimum value and the maximum. If the person goes to put in any number within that range, it will not allow the person to enter. So for people that maybe it's like an attendance now or a school number now, and there's a certain maybe some people did some kind of things, they've blacklisted some names, you understand, and the ID of those students falls between ID 3 and ID 40. So I can come here and put not between ID 3 and 40. So let's say it was even an assignment now and they are submitting it. So if the person goes there and puts their ID as ID 20, it will reject it because the ID will not be there in the first place. Right. So, but we're working with between because we have a range we're working with. So I'll click on between. The minimum value here now is 334. All right. And the maximum value there is 598. All right. The next thing I'll go to is input message. Okay. So I'll select the tab input message. So I want the cell to display a message telling the person what to do, because maybe the person doesn't know what ID means. Maybe the number is actually matriculation number. You understand? The person is seeing ID. He doesn't know what ID means. You get, so I can just put like a small description of what I want the person to do in that cell. So yeah, I want the person to enter the ID. All right. Then I'll now go to the next tab, which is error alert. What error do I want it to display? If the person does not enter an ID that is between that range, so I'll tell the person, just advise the person on what to do. All right. Let's say I would say something like the ID must be between 334 and 598. and then I'll come here and I'll select OK. All right. So if the person goes here now and writes, let's say the first person came, the first product now, and puts 450 as product ID, it will accept it. Okay. But if the person comes here now and puts 200 as the ID and clicks enter, you can see it gave it an error message. The ID must be between 334 and 598. Person will say, okay, we try. Come here now, you put 5559. It's going to reject it. You come here now and say, okay, let's say the person now wants to go and write their name. Let's say Jane. Some people are very funny. You understand? Person wants to go and put their name in the ID column. And then you put enter. But then the ID must be between. You can also still get the person. Maybe that our error message we just added. The ID must be a number between 394. So the person knows that you cannot put a text because Jane is a text. Right? So if you try and it doesn't work, and the person goes to click cancel to delete everything that is there. So it's assuming you didn't enter anything there. Does anybody have a question? Before I move to the next example. Ask your questions, please. Hello.
Good evening, ma.
Evening.
I just want to know, is it compulsory? Is it every data we are meant to validate, and what are the are we the one to determine the criterias?
Yes, you are the one collecting data, you not. You see your attendance now. I told you, I gave an example. I said, you see that number, the where you have class number. I don't want some go and put class 1 instead of class 4. Do you understand? That is why I made sure the only number you are seeing there is 4, right? On your attendance. If I want to give you an option, like I just left it open. Like where you're writing your names, for example. You see, just an open field for you. So you can put in as like you can put in if you want to even put in numbers, you can put in number. You understand? If I want to leave that class part for you like that, I can leave it like it as it is. But I want to validate the data because I know why. Because I'm the one designing the sheet. You understand? So that is just it. So you're the one you're the one to decide that. I've answered the question.
Thank you, ma.
All right. Let me see the next person. Oyetola. Oyetola, ask your question. All right. Oyetola is not here with us. Stephen. Be Stephen. Is this Stephanie? I think it's Stephanie. Stephanie Onyeri. Stephanie Onyeri. All right. So lower the hand. Ufoma Niame. Ufoma, ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Actually, this is in regards to something like Google Sheets, for example, where you have several persons that have access to that sheet, and then maybe they need to impute some things on a particular sheet. So is there a way, maybe if one user imputes a particular detail into the sheet and someone else also wants to impute data into that particular cell, is there a way to possibly use data validation to prevent that kind of how would I put it, confusion? Let me put it that way.
Okay, if the person sees that there's a data there, why would the person want to go and remove data? You guys are collaborating. You are collaborating on a project or something, right?
Yes, something like that.
If
And
if
assuming two persons are entering data at the same time, something in that direction.
okay, 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 okay. Two people are entering data at the same time. Well, I don't think there's a way you can use the validation for that. But I know that most times when you are trying to change data in a cell, you understand, in a cell, if there's already data there, sometimes it might tell you the data there. Do you still want to continue? I think do you still want to continue with your editing or so? But not data validation. Data validation is just to ensure that what is being entered falls within a criteria and not prevent you from entering data. So if maybe the person that is entering data, the first person now already put 450 and the 450 has not yet appeared. When it's Google Sheet now, so it's on cloud, so maybe network problem or so. It has not yet appeared there. Another person comes there to put in 500. I think Excel will hit the last one. That's the second person to put data for the second person that entered and then throw away the first person. So I think for that kind of situation, it's best to just use different sheets. I've answered the question.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Next, Docker. Dockers. Dockers Imari. Okay, so I'll lower Dockers hand. Stephanie Onyeri. Stephanie Onyeri. All right. Does any other person have a question? Dockers, I called you. That's your question. Or lower your hand. Okay, so I think I've lowered all the hand. All right, so we're done with data validation now for numbers between a certain range, right? So assume now you want the person to enter only text. So we'll do data validation now for only text, meaning we don't want the person to be able to enter numbers into a particular cell. All right, so come here now, and I will, let's say we want this one to be product, for example. All right, so the same process.
I can't see your
Select. Is that the same for everyone?
No, we can see your screen. Oh, I can hear you.
I can see your screen. I can make it.
But turn off your camera. But so let's say we want to do data validation now for the product. We want what the person is entering here to be only text. We don't want the person to be able to enter numbers. So we'll just highlight everything. All right. So after highlighting everything, we'll go to the data tab. Then we'll go to that here. All right. So I'll click on data validation in this data tools group. Then I'll go to settings. All right. So I'm back here at settings. So the first thing I'm going to do now is validation. Okay. So allow what? I don't want to allow any value. I want only text. Only text. So I'll come here and I will go down to text length. Can you see? Text length. Before we work with whole number. All right. So I'll go down now to text length. Okay. So I will select text length. All right. So it's asking me now the data, the text length. Do I have a range? Do I want to be between a particular number between, let's say, you know that there's nobody's name that is longer than 30 alphabets now, for example. So I can say, okay, between 5 or between 2 and 30. For some Chinese, you get that have maybe just to Li, Li. Some names can be like that. I can say the name must be between 2 and 2 and 10, for example. But I don't think that is the minimum. I think we have furnishings there. Furnishings are many letters. 3, 6, 9, 12. And that's 11. So let's say between 2 and 11, for example. All right. So I'll go to the input message tab. Okay. So I'll say enter the product. This is the message I want it to display, making the person moves their cursor there. So I'll click on enter. I'll write enter the product. All right. Then I'll go to the next tab. The next tab is error alert, and I'll select it. So I have the error here. Error message here. Stop. Meaning it should just stop. You want to change it to something else, you can change it to something else. Or we'll do this one first so I don't confuse it. We'll just work with this stop first. All right. So what error do I want to display if the person enters something that does not fall within that criteria? You can say something like the product name is either too long or too. I didn't spell that well. It's either too long or too short. Right? And now okay. Okay, so the person comes in now and goes to put, you can see that it's displaying enter the product. Enter the product. Person comes in now and goes to put enter. You can see saying the product name is either too long or too short. Alright? So the person now comes here to put biro, for example. If you take it, because biro falls between the range. That is the number of alphabets in biro. Falls between the range of 2 and 11. So we want to see advise the person better. All right. We want to advise the person. You can see come here. Let's highlight all the cells back. Go back. We don't want the person to get too short. So we can say the product name is either too long or too short. You can now add more text. You can say the text length, just as an advice, must be between 2 and 11. And select OK. All right. The person comes to put something like this now, very long, and put enter. You can see the product name is too long or too short. The text length must be between 2 and 11. Gladys, ask your question. Gladys, Edemode.
Yeah, I did not get for the input message, I did not get what you wrote inside.
Okay, this is what I wrote on the input message. I said the input message is what is going to be displayed, which is enter the product here. You can see it. So I'm going to I'll highlight it. So I'm going to go back. This is the input message now. I click on the tab. So you can enter the product. So the three things.
Thank you.
The 3 things you're going to enter for this data validation, immediately that dialog box, this dialog box pops up is the criteria, meaning the rule you want to set for those range of cells. The input message, what you want it to display. Some people don't have to put it, but I think it's best to put so the person just know. All right. Then error alert. If the person does not put it, what should it display? Okay, so those are the 3 things for that one. Is there any other question?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello? Okay. So please go to that setting again. After that text length or length of the text, there's another function. What is this one? Before you get to what's the I can't see that. Yes, that one. No, not that one. After that data length.
This one.
Yes, this one. Yeah, what's the
data
this
between
one is that? Okay,
That
enter between.
yes, okay. This one is okay. For example, if I come here, I select text length greater than. Can you see that before it was showing me two boxes here? Now it's showing only one.
Yes.
Meaning the minimum length of the product should be 2. But if the person goes to enter 20,000, no problem to take it.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Cannot enter less than 2. If the person goes to enter 1, it will not take it. If person goes to enter 2 million, it will take it. You understand?
Okay.
That
Yes.
is the
Okay.
number of letters in the text. Is that one clear?
Yes. Very clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm thinking somebody is going to do one for me. All right. So okay, I need somebody now to do data validation for this product. All right. I want a situation whereby if user enters a product here, it should not enter a product with a text length of more than 15. Who can help me with that? Just guide me, let me know you guys are following me. Hello.
Yes, we are with you, ma. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right. So I'm ready. Osarengaru. I thought you were going to get.
I beg your pardon, ma.
I think somebody
I think I can give it a shot. I
have
don't know.
good data validation for this cell. All right. It's
Okay.
like person should not have the opportunity, should not be able to enter texts that are greater than the length of 15.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me try.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So after highlighting,
Okay,
you go to data tab.
okay,
Later, then you look for validation. Click on the drop down arrow
okay,
for the validation. So when you get there, you go to settings.
okay,
Then at settings, click what's it called, the length. You select for data length. I
okay.
mean text length.
Excellent. All right.
Then then the criteria is, you said the text should not be greater than 15.
Yes, should just check it. Yes, it should not be greater than 15.
Okay, then under the when you click the drop down menu under then you click for greater than. I don't know whether there's a criteria called greater
Maybe
than.
less.
Less than, sorry, less than.
Thank you very much. They're following. Okay. What else?
Then you put, huh?
I've clicked less than.
Yes.
15.
Okay, as in my before minimum, now it's showing maximum. I'm going to put 15, right?
I think less
Is that
than or equal to 15 is better.
yeah? So do you want to have a message? What is your input message? What do you want it to display?
Okay, the display will just be the product. The text should not be.
No, what do you want to display? As me mouth.
I think it should display enter product name.
Okay. Enter product name. Okay. Do you have any error message? Doesn't have to be what I have here. Use yours. Be creative. Don't spy this one. I removed it. All right. So, what's your error message? Hello.
Hello.
The product name should not be more
So
than
the error
15.
message.
Hello, ma. Please, if I should guess, I think that product name, that error alert should be, there should be a list of reference. I don't know. I'm
No,
right.
that's not. I didn't ask you for. I asked. All right. All right. So we're done now with products. We've done data validation for this one. The next one now is in a situation whereby you have certain you have a list, you have certain figures or certain words you want the person to be able to enter. You don't want the person to enter something else at all. You understand? So, for example, maybe you're working with countries, all right? Somebody can enter Nigeria. I think I mentioned this thing when I was teaching you guys data cleaning. Somebody can enter Nigeria like this. Another person can enter Nigeria like this. All right. Another person can go and enter and can go and write Nigeria.
Niger.
Another go and write Nigeria. All these things are one country, right? Although this one is not Nigeria, though. These two are not. But in the real sense, it's one country. They just don't know how to spell it. You understand? Excel, in fact, not just Excel, any data analysis tool you are using, we pick them as different countries. So, for example, you are trying to get a count now of people that are from Nigeria. It will count only people that have this one. All these other people, they are also from Nigeria, but they just can't spell Nigeria. It won't count them. So your data will be wrong, your analysis will be wrong. So to prevent this kind of issue, just give the person a list and tell the person to select. You get, so instead of stressing yourself. I think if you also check the attendance list, you will see female, you will see male. Because some people might not spell female very well. So giving them an option to pick makes it easier for you. Somebody can go and spell the male as male. It's correct. Male is correct, but male is not the male I'm talking about. You understand? Instead of this. So if I'm doing an analysis, I now have to start cleaning this one, which is not necessary. So if you can avoid it, just avoid it. You understand? So that being said, there will not be a need for you to do data validation using lists. So you just give the person a list of what you want. So let's say you want to do data validation now for country. All right. So from here now, we have just 3 countries, 3 unique countries. I know it looks like it's plenty, but in reality, it's just 3. And those 3 countries are Italy, Germany, and Spain. They are just repeated here several times. You understand? Just repeated here several times. So we have Italy, Germany, and Spain. But if you want to just confirm to be sure, you can use a function to get that. And that function is unique. All right? The function is unique. So I just put equal to, and I'll type unique. You can see it returns the unique values from a range or array. So I just click on unique like this. So it's asking me for the array. The array is the range of cells. That's what it's asking me for. All right. So I'll just come here, Italy here, to Spain. All right. Then I will close my bracket and I'll click enter. So you can see it's showing me just 3: Italy, Germany, and Spain, which is those countries we have here. All right. We can copy this one now. I just want to take them as I don't want that. I want just I don't want it. Because if you look at it now, every here is showing, and I want the values. So I'll then I'll do paste special. Yeah, which is not important. It's just my own way doing it. Special. So I want just the values. Showing me Italy, Germany. That's all. So let's call it country. All right. So I'm going to highlight the whole now. Then I'll go to data. Then I'll go to data. Then I'll come to the set. Switch your mic. All right. Then for these settings now, this validation criteria, I'm going to come here now. Where you have any value, I'm going to come here now and change it to list. So I'll pick list. Yeah. So here now it's asking me for the source, meaning where is the all the data we typed in just now? Where are they located? Where is the list? All right. Then I will now come here now. You see this arrow here. I can do it too. I can decide to come here and just pick this arrow here. All right. Then I'll come here. I will just highlight from Italy to Spain. I've highlighted it. Now select enter. So to just pick their location. Then input message. I can put something like select country. So when I put select, the person know that it cannot enter, it cannot just select. And I'll come here and put my error alert and I'll put country not on list or invalid country. Oh, no country is invalid. Country not accepted. Yeah, I think that's better.
Or country not found.
Yeah, that was so good. Country not found. I'll click enter. All right, so if I come here now and I put Nigeria, all right, and I click enter, you can see it's saying country not found. Can we try? And I will put Ghana. Ghana. See, country not found because they're not on my list. All right. So if maybe I have tried, I'm not seeing. You can see it has given me the option for the 3 countries I can pick: Italy, Germany, or Spain. It's only those ones. If I select Spain, I should enter it. If I still come here, if I don't want to type, I can just go to this drop down here, this triangle you have beside it, and I will select it, and I'll pick Spain, and I'll go to the next one. I don't want to type. I'll pick Germany, and I'll go to the next one. I'll pick anything I want. You get it right? But mind you, whatever you select here is tied to your cells. It's tied to this cell. So if you want to do this, what I would advise is the list can be on another sheet, and then you lock the sheet. Yes, and you protect the sheet. You get, or you can put it in maybe row 300 and just go down where you know the person will never be able to access. You understand? Just to avoid, because whatever you enter is usually tied to this to this to this. Let's say we change this to Egypt. Egypt. So if you come here now, can you see? It has changed it to Egypt, Germany, Spain, because it's tied to this list. If you don't want to do it this way, you can see it's there to still copy everything. And when you are doing that, if you don't want to whereby if there's a change there, it will affect your data validation. You can just copy it and paste it in that place where it asks us for a range of cells, which is here in the settings. In the settings. Oh, that's not what I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to highlight. I didn't highlight the countries column. In the settings here. So the source now, you can decide to also type it. Since I've copied it now, I can just still paste it. There is no allowing me to paste. But you can write it. So we had I think we had Italy. We had Italy, Germany, and Spain. Let me just specify cannot be found. Okay. So you can see it here. Because I typed it, why it gave that error just now was because when I entered it, there was an equal to that was beside it. There was an equal sign beside. So it was assuming it was a formula, whereas it's not a formula, it's a value I'm just entering. So you can decide to do it this way. Does anybody have any question?
I do.
Go ahead.
Okay, please. Sorry to take you back. That unique. Got lost when you're trying to get the unique country name from the
Yeah,
column country. The formula you use. You said
equal
is equals to unique.
just equal to unique. It will bring it out here for you. Then you go and select range of cells, which in our case was from F2 to F21. F2 to F21. That's it. And I said, because now it's showing us the formula, I don't like the formula here. I want it to be a value. So I just copy. All right. Then while still, I just clicked. You can do paste special, which is here. Which is here on your home here. You go to paste, you come to paste special, then you select values, and then click OK. You can click your paste special. All right, and it has pasted it. You can have formula is no longer there. Yeah. So does any other person have a question?
So how do you now how do you enter it? Instead of typing the list country Germany, Spain, there was a way you just if the country names are much, instead of one typing it one by one under the list, there was one thing you click there. Yes.
Yes, let's say for example, I understand your question. Let's say for example, we're not dealing with countries now. So now it's easy because it's just 3. Let's say we want to actually work with products. All right, we want to give a list for. Don't want the person to spell it and the rest. I want to give a list. So let's paste this here. Okay. So what you can do is you go to your select the cell, which is here. I'll go to data. Here. Then I'll go to data tools, data validation, sorry. Then while on the settings, I'll select list. All right. It's asking me for source. So you see this arrow beside it. I'll click on the arrow. Then I'll come here and I'll select everything there. All right. Then I'll click on end. And I can say select. Even this one is not even compulsory. Just if you feel like you can leave input message and error message empty to still give you an error. Like now, I want to leave it empty, but it's best to just so you don't stress the user. The user will just know what to enter. Even they can just spend hours and they won't know the exact rule. Because now, if I do this sheet and I lock the whole worksheet and allow the person to only enter values into this place, they cannot see the rule I put there unless I tell them that rule in my error message. So the error message will actually help them. You understand? But it's not compulsory. So I selected OK. All right. So if I come here now, select product, I come to the drop down. You can see it. Everything's there. Bookcase, paper gum, labels, tables, water bottle, and the rest. So that's it. I'll be cleaning up the record.
Ma, I've been raising my hand since.
That's your question. But I have to turn on the record. This class is
Yeah, that unique formula. If